Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our revision lesson. Our revision lesson today is dealing with two subjects that were the most requested subjects. One of those subjects is understanding Roman keycard Blackwood a bit better, and the other subject was focusing on declarer play and the technique behind declarer play. And I've gone a little deeper into both of the subjects, and there won't be a long spiel at the start. Essentially, I think the best way to revise these two subjects is for me to pop 8 hands on the board. I deliberately did not give them to anyone in advance because I want you to think of what you would do and then watch the solution with me, and I will type up the hands and send them through on an email later on today with the video of the lesson. So the hands will come through, printed up for you later in the day, along with the video of the lesson. But for today, I want you to take the time to think about these two subjects that we've discussed in length in the past, and try to focus on how you would consider the problem based on what you know about the two subjects. Well, the first 4 hands today are all about declarer play technique. And they might include some details about bidding systems and things that you might need to understand or we have gone through so far in the lessons up to date. So let's look at this. Hand number 1. Now, everyone, I'd love to encourage you to ask questions as we go along. I think it's a great way to learn. And at the end of the lesson, I will open microphones and people can ask whatever questions they wish about this lesson and about any other subject. So, hand number 1. You'll notice also, everyone, that the hands don't necessarily correspond. The hand number doesn't necessarily correspond. And that's because, with the notes that is, and that's because I try to get a particular vulnerability, and the vulnerability isn't always correct if it's delivered as hand 1, 2, 3, 4 on BBO. So just ignore the hand number, and it's simply the vulnerability in the dealer that I'm keen to get across. So South's dealer on this hand, and South opens with a diamond. Look at the North hand, you've bid a spade in response, and partner bids 2 hearts. Now, how should we recognize that bid? Well, already it's past the barrier of 1 no trump, therefore the hand must be unbalanced. It's also past the barrier of the opening bidder's first suit. And that means that with 2 different suits bid, this is in the perfect example of what we call a reverse. Higher suit at a higher level. So partner's promising us at least 5 cards in diamonds, at least 4 in hearts, and at least 16 points to reverse. Now, how do you respond to reverses? Well, any return to either of partner's suits suggests a minimum. Now, remember, a reverse bid is forcing, so you cannot pass 2 hearts. If you have a minimum hand with hearts, you would have to raise to 3 hearts. Here, 3 diamonds simply says, partner, I would prefer to play in 3 diamonds rather than play in any other higher scoring contract. Now, for the opener to bid on again, they would need to have more than the 16 points they promised. Let's have a look at the opener's hand. That hand looks 8, 10, 12, 17. Opposite a minimum over here, which is around about 5 to 7 points. I don't think that game is likely on this hand. Tempting, but not likely. So therefore, we pass, we take the low road, and we pass and leave the contract in 3 diamonds. Now, the first 4 hands are declarer play technique. So let's look at this hand from a declarer's perspective. West has led the Queen of Clubs, top of the sequence, promising the Jack. Now, East is probably going to win the Ace of Clubs here, and I suspect return a club. Well, if they do that, then you're going to be left with a club loser, and you need to be able to get rid of that club loser, and perhaps even take care of the 4th round of hearts. How can you see getting rid of that club loser, or what would be a line towards getting rid of that club loser? I can think we can play the Ace, King, Queen of Hearts and discard our 3rd club. So that's the plan in my mind. Let's try that. East wins the Ace of Clubs, and sure enough, returns a club to set up the opponent's winning club. But we can foil that by simply playing a heart to the king, a heart back to the ace and the queen, and discard our third club. Now, that would be a good play rather than touching trumps, because if we touch trumps here, we may not have any trumps left in dummy to be able to trump the losing club or the losing heart. So that's our plan at this point in time. Heart to the king, heart back to the ace or the queen, and then finally the ace of hearts, discarding that 7 of clubs in dummy. That's what we do. Now, it feels tempting to play a club now to trump it in dummy. But what's the hurry? See that you've got a singleton spade here opposite the king. Probably a good play here is to play that singleton spade. And if the ace of spades is on side, you'll turn out to have an extra trick. So that extra card that can be discarded would be the 8 of hearts. So once the king of spades is set up, that is if the ace is on side, then it can take care of the 8 of hearts. You would use the entry of trumping the third club in dummy to get there to take the king of spades. So let's try that now. Again, we still haven't touched the trump. So we do that, we play the 6 of spades, and West knows to play the ace because they can count you for 5 diamonds, 4 hearts, and by the way partner played the club suit, that is, they took the ace and then led back to 10, showing 3 cards or 2 cards, then you have at most 3 clubs. Sorry, at least 3 clubs. So that means that South would be marked with a singleton spade. Therefore, it's important for West to hop up with the ace. That's what they do. And they continue on with another club. Well, you can now trump that in dummy. And it's important to have a look at the trump spots here, everyone, and to think about the fact that now there's only 1 club left in the deck, and a player could play that card, one of the opponents could play that card, and the other one might be able to trump in. So that's something to bear in mind here when it comes to tackling the trump suit later. You're missing the queen, the 10, and the 9. And I'll show you why it's important to consider that when it comes to playing the trumps later. Well, we're in dummy, so now we're going to take the king of spades and discard the 8 of hearts. And now, everyone, we've only got trumps left. So finally, at trick 8, we're going to finally play trumps. So if we do, something I'm worried about is if the jack loses to the queen, that's 2 trumps gone, and we would still be missing the 10, the 9, and another trump. If the opponents played the 4th club and got their partner to trump with the 9 or the 10, they would set up 2 trump tricks. So I'm not willing to take a risk here of finessing the diamond. I think I'm simply going to play the ace and the king. I may miss out on the small chance of an extra over trick, but I think we've done quite well on this hand. The 9 drops, and now we give the last trick to the queen. So we didn't lose anything by not finessing on this hand. And in fact, you can see what would have happened. If you can visualize the trump suit here, there's queen 9-2 opposite 10-3. If when you played the 5 of diamonds, East played the 3, which they did, and you inserted the jack, West would have won the queen and be left with the 9 and the 2. You would be left as South with the ace, the king, and the 7. Can you see what would happen if West played the 4 of clubs here? It would go 4 of clubs, and it doesn't matter whether you trump in dummy or not. East would trump with the 10 of diamonds, which meant that you were forced to play one of your ace and your king of trumps. So that would mean 2 of your honors have gone, and West would be left with the 9 to actually take a second trick. Now that's the reason why I didn't want to take the risk here of finessing the jack of diamonds, just in case the opponents played an extra club and they were able to get what we refer to in bridge as an uppercut. So that hand is about reverse bidding. and remembering what a reverse bid shows and how to respond, and also about declare a technique of not making sure that we touch trumps too soon. Let's continue on. Okay, this hand actually is a hand from real play from a world championship event. It may surprise you to find out what happened on this particular hand, but I will, when I give you declarer and dummy's hands, I want you to tell me, looking at the opening lead, pardon me, let's have a look at the south hand. Let's have a look at the opening lead. And whilst you're studying the hands, I'm going to quickly discuss the option. East has opened the bidding with 1 heart. You as South overcall 1 spade. West raises to 2 hearts. And North, with this hand here, has enough points to make what we call a Q raise. If they were to simply bid 2 spades, I don't think it would do justice to their hand. It's a good side suiting clubs, a singleton, 3 trumps, and 10 points. That's why a Q raise of 3 hearts gets across to partner the value of their hand. A bid of 3 spades would tend to be more preemptive. So 3 hearts, the Q raise here says partner, I've got 10 or more points, 3 or more spades. Well, once East passes, South has opposite 10 points, has an easy 4 spade bid. Now, how would you plan to play this hand? Well, let's play the first 3 tricks. And no doubt the opponents will hop into hearts, taking those, and then simply force you to use one of your trumps. Okay, how many trumps are left out against you? There's 5. Those trumps could break 3-2, they could break 4-1. Any thoughts about the line of play on this hand? Should we just simply draw trumps straight away? Should we play clubs early? It's not necessarily such a straightforward hand in the respect that maybe you should trump some diamonds in dummy. Well, if trumps are 3-2 on this hand, I mean, you're probably wondering why I've given you the hand at all. But do you necessarily need to trump diamonds in dummy when the clubs are so wonderful? I'll tell you what happened at half of the tables in the World Championship. The declarers simply took their eye off the ball, and they did what players typically do, and they played a low spade across to the ace. Then they continued with another spade to the king, and they discovered that trumps broke 4-1. At this point in time, they then played clubs. But what happened was, once the second club was played, East trumped in and returned a trump. And declarer was stuck in hand with all of these losing diamonds. Now, if you start trumping diamonds in dummy, then you're probably going to run a trick short because you don't have enough trumps to cross-trump the entire hand and hope that all of your clubs survive. So this hand is far easier than you think it is. And it is a case of, people have suggested, drawing trumps. Well, drawing trumps is correct, but the key to drawing trumps on this hand is to make sure that the ace of spades is left in dummy. You simply draw the king and the queen of spades in the first 2 rounds of the suit in your hand. Watch what happens. King of spades. And you leave the ace of spades in dummy just in case spades break 4-1. You catch the queen next, or West does discard. You simply play low, and this is the good technique now. What happens is that now you start to play clubs, king of clubs. You play the queen of clubs next. Now you make sure you overtake in dummy so that you can continue to run the club suit. Because that's your plan, is to continue playing clubs until West trumps in. Well, West trumps in now, but how many trumps has East got left? 1. They've got 1 trump left. If they play a diamond, you'll win the ace. cross to the ace of spades, and enjoy your clubs. If they play a heart, you trump it, cross to the ace of spades, and enjoy your clubs. So with one trump left, East, it doesn't matter what they play. If they play a heart, you trump in, you cross to the ace of trumps, drawing East's final trump in the process. And now you're in the correct hand to run all of the winning clubs. And East has no more trumps left. And you simply throw away all of your losing diamonds. And the ace of diamonds is your 10th trick. You see, everyone, not all hands, on not every hand that we play, is it wrong to draw trumps first? But sometimes you have to look at what way should I play the trump suit? And if trumps don't break, what do I have up my sleeve? And in this instance, it was making sure that the entry to dummy in spades of the ace of spades was kept for the third round of the suit. Actually, I found this quite surprising that so many declarers took their eye off the ball at a world championship, that half of them actually went down in this contract. And that's because most of the time we go, well, trumps will break 3/4 or 2/3 of the time. Therefore, I think that we'll just simply play for trumps to break on the hand. They forgot to look a little bit deeper on the hand, maybe a bit of fatigue. Let's have a look at this third hand. Now, this is interesting. I've given you the north hand here because I want to ask you, what would you do if partner opened 1 no trump and you were looking at this 4-3-3-3 shape? Despite having a 4-card major, I suggest that with a hand such as this, you simply raise to 3 no trump. I think 4-3-3s opposite balanced hands tend to play just as well in no trumps, trick-wise, as they would if you happen to have a 4-4 spade fit here. So that would be my choice on this hand, to simply bid 3 no trump. Now, let's look at what would happen if West was to make a lead. Okay, time to think about this lead, everyone. Well, that lead looks like 4th best. Yeah, I mean, West is likely to lead a long suit here. And in fact, we can probably start studying that lead a bit more and presume that the clubs are 4-4 around the table. Neil's asked a question, maybe see the whole hand at the end. I am trying to show the whole hand at the end. It's a little bit faint. I'm hoping people can still see the faint writing. I'll see if there's another way to show you the whole hand. Okay, so West has led the 2 of clubs. Well, the obvious play is to play West for the queen, because if they have the queen, then we have 2 club winners. So let's continue on with that. Play and play low and dummy, but East pops up with the queen. East, not too surprisingly, returns a club. And West clears the suit to set up. And on this trick, let's go back a card. So we have to decide what we're going to throw away on this trick. Now, throwing away a heart may not be the right play. We can afford to throw away the spade. But in all honesty, this hand is about the diamond suit. If we can take 5 diamond tricks, then we'll get 2 spades, 1 heart with the ace, 5 diamonds, and the club trick that we've already got. And that would mean the opponents can take 3 club tricks and just the ace of hearts. So I think I can safely discard the 2 of spades. Here's the question. How do we find the queen of diamonds? Is it in the west hand? Is it in the east hand? Now, when it comes to choosing for 2-way finesses, a lot of them are much easier than you think they are. And often it's about how many cards in the suit a player is more likely to have. Is West more likely to have longer diamonds, or East more likely to have longer diamonds? Well, let's go back to the opening lead. What did West lead? West led the 2 of clubs. So that means that West chose to lead a 4-card minor suit. What did the auction tell West? The auction told West that North-South were not interested in looking for a major suit fit. So the odds were heavily in favour that North didn't hold a 4-card major. They happened to on this hand because they were a 4-3-3, but that would be a rare occasion. Most of the time when these options pop up, 1 no trump, 3 no trump, then you will expect that dummy won't have a 4-card major. That means that if West had a 4-card major, they would have led it. So I think that we can rule out the possibility that West has a 4-card major. So if West doesn't have a 4-card major, but they have 4 cards in clubs, their likely shape is 3-3-3-4. I'll repeat that. Their likely shape is 3 spades, 3 hearts, 3 diamonds, and 4 clubs. Why? Because we've precluded the chance or the possibility that they have a 4-card major. So the maximum number of cards in a major is 3 each, which means that they either have 3 or 4 cards in diamonds. And if they had 4 diamonds, they could just as easily have led from the diamond suit as have led from the club suit. So it shouldn't be a surprise that West turns up with 3 spades, 3 hearts, 3 diamonds, and 4 clubs. Well, if they've got 3 diamonds in the West hand, then East has 2. Who was more likely to hold the queen? Well, the hand that's more likely to hold the queen will be West. So let's aim for West holding the queen, and we'll even try to aim for the possibility of catering for West to have 4 diamonds to the queen. So at this trick, we need to cross over to our hand and immediately finesse on the first round of the suit through West in diamonds. So that's what we're going to do. We think we've worked out that West is more likely to have the diamond length than East based upon the lead choice that they make. And that's what I'm saying to you. More often than not, these 50-50 finesses are based upon what you can garner from the opening lead and the number of cards that they hold. So now we cross from the North hand over to the South hand, and we do that by playing a spade to the ace. And we'll now continue with the Jack of diamonds. And when West plays low, we're going to go with the odds and also play low. Success. Now when we play another diamond, we've got all of the intermediate spots. You can see that, Jack, 10, 9, and 8. When West plays low, we can afford to play the 8 in case West has 4 of them. That's what we do. Well, they have 3. Well, this is good news. Now we can simply draw out the Queen of Diamonds, and that gives us 5 diamond tricks. We can continue to play a couple more diamond winners, making sure that we keep a couple of hearts in dummy, because we still need to set up our 9th trick in hearts. Now we play the King of Hearts. East wins. They then cash their 4th round of diamonds, which we knew about, and we discard in dummy the 6 of spades. And now they've only got spades and hearts left, so that's what they play. A spade to the king, and a heart to the queen. So that's, everyone, that's our 9 tricks. Interesting hand, I think, from the perspective that it's about card reading and making a choice based on the opponent's lead. If I try to do that, I think we might be able to see all 4 hands. There we are. There's all 4 hands. So good question, Neil. I'm glad that you asked that. So that's the hand. We deduced that West had 4 clubs from their lead of the 2. We deduced that West didn't hold a 4-card major because they didn't lead one, which means everyone has 13 cards on their hand. They must hold 3 or perhaps 4 cards in diamonds. And if that's the case, they're more likely to hold the queen than their partner who holds 1 or 2 cards in diamonds. I think that's a very interesting hand from a card reading perspective. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, on this particular hand, the bidding has gone pass, 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 and you're sitting here with a 17 high card point hand, a 5-3-3-2 shape, and a lot of you know that I'm quite keen on opening a no trump with a 5 card major. So on this particular hand, I've got 5 hearts, but I've got 17 points, got a couple of 10s. I think this hand is simply too good to open one no trump. I would upgrade this hand to be worthy of an 18-point hand. If using Banzai count, it's about worth a 26. So I'm going to treat it like a 1 heart opening and then a jump in no trumps. So I open a heart. Well, partner makes a Bergen raise, promising 6 to 9 points and a 4 card heart suit. Well, I've got 6 losers opposite that. 6 losers opposite a Bergen 3 club bid means that your hand with a 9 card trumpet is worthy of going to game. 6 losers are 2 in spades, 1 in hearts, 1 in diamonds, 2 in clubs. So we raise to 4 hearts. Now, West makes the opening lead of the king of clubs. What are our losers on this hand, everyone? Well, we have an unmistakable club loser, or unavoidable, I should say. We have an unavoidable spade loser. We have at least 1 diamond loser because we've got ace queen 9 opposite 7-5-4. But I want to be able to avoid losing 2 diamond tricks. So we've got a lot of trumps on this hand, and all of those trumps that may help us to be able to do what we call eliminate the side suits. So how do I eliminate the side suits? Well, I want to get to a position where I've got a trumps left in both hands and simply the diamond suit. I want to have no spades left between declarer and dummy, and I also want to have no clubs left between declarer and dummy. So who would be the danger hand for me on this particular occasion? It would be East, meaning that I don't really want to have East on lead lest they play a diamond through me. So at trick 1, I'm going to duck the club and allow the king of clubs to win because it keeps West on play. East plays the jack of clubs, promising the 10. Well, that's a good idea that I didn't win the ace because West might be able to underlead the queen to East's 10 and get a diamond through. So I'm glad that we ducked this trick. Well, West has nothing better to do, so West continues with the club. Okay, now I want to keep going with our plan of eliminating the black suits here. So I think I'm going to trump a club in my hand. And I'm going to trump it high because look at the trump spots. Queen, Jack, 9, 8, Ace, King, 10, etc. I've got an embarrassment of riches in the trump suit. So I trump with the king, and that holds the trick. Now, I still need to take care of the spade suit, but I also need to be able to duck a trick in spades and hope that I can duck it through East. I hope that East doesn't hold 2 honors here. So how do I do that and make sure that West gets on lead? Well, I cross over to dummy with a low heart to one of those lovely heart spots because they're all winners. And then I play another spade. When East plays low, perfect. Well, they don't have 2 honors. If that's the case, if they don't have 2 honors, then I can afford now to play the 10 and make sure West wins this trick, which they do. So this hand's looking good so far, everyone. It's looking like I might be able to eliminate both of the black suits and get into an end position in the diamonds. So West continues on with the 4th club. Remember, I still haven't drawn, I've only drawn 2 trumps. And East discards a spade. So we trump with one of our high hearts again because we want to save all of the heart entries in dummy. Next, let's play the ace of spades. And trump our last spade in dummy. And now we have we have done what we call eliminate the black suits. No clubs left, no spades left. So we're in dummy. There's still 2 trumps to go. So let's draw both of those trumps, or let's draw 1 round of those trumps and hope both of them fall. Well, they do. Now, even if both trumps hadn't fallen, I would have made this next play, and that is to play a diamond. But now that they've both fallen, I think I've got almost a 100% line of play. In fact, I have a 100% line of play here by playing a low diamond. And when East plays the 3, what do? I play the 9. And it doesn't matter what that loses to. If you look at the last position of the last 3 cards, West wins the 10 of diamonds. They have the Queen of spades left. And if they play a spade, what will happen? If they play a spade, I will discard the 5 of diamonds in dummy, trump with the 10 of hearts in my hand, and then play ace of diamonds and the jack of hearts as the last trick. If they play a diamond, then they're playing a diamond around into my ace and queen. So everyone, that's not such an easy hand to play, I will readily admit, but I was being asked about showing people some what we call elimination hands, and that would be a classic example of an elimination hand. Okay, let's move on. So now we're going to focus a little bit, everyone, on Roman keycard Blackwood, and more of these hands will be less about declare a play. There's still some interesting declare a play, but quite a bit about the bidding. Now, I'm curious to know what type of transfers do players play opposite for a minor suit, opposite a 1 no trump opening bid. Now, there's a couple of methods. There's the classic method of 2 spades a transfer to clubs, 2 no trump as a transfer to diamonds. The problem with playing methods such as that is that some people forget. They forget that 1 no trump, 2 no trump is a transfer to diamonds. So another method is to play 2 spades as a transfer to either minor. Now, you will have a 6-card suit if you do that. It could be either minor, and it could be either very weak or slam going. So if you bid 2 spades, you say to partner, please bid 3 clubs. If I've got a weak hand with clubs, I will pass. If I have a weak hand with diamonds, I will convert back to the diamond suit. Now, on this particular occasion, I actually have a strong hand with diamonds. Now, we discussed Roman keycard Blackwood for minor suits, and if you ever have an option where partnered or you jump to 4 of a minor, that will always be a strong bid. 4 of a minor should never be used as an invitation to 5 of a minor. That's the purpose of 3 of a minor. So what we're saying here is that if a player ever bids 4 of a minor, why not have a simple method, the simple method being that we can use that as minor wood or Roman keycard Blackwood for the minor suits. Now, so South bids 4 diamonds, and that is minor wood for diamonds as the trump suit. So now we're asking the question about the 4 aces and the king of diamonds, and also perhaps the whether partner holds the queen of diamonds as well. Well, in this instance, you've got it. So, but 4 diamonds says, partner, tell me about how many key cards you have. Well, partner's response is always in steps. First step is 0 or 3. Second step is 1 or 4. Third step is 2 without. Fourth step is 2 with. Son's asked me a question. Can you bid 4 of a minor as competitive if there has been bidding from the opponents? You can, but that's a different subject where I have a really strong opinion as well. And that is, I can't remember when the last time in a competitive auction I bid 4 of a minor and it was the correct decision. So just bear that in mind. If there is a competitive auction and you do bid 4 of a minor, sure, okay, it's possible that could be competitive. Now, I don't encourage people to bid 4 of a minor ever. In fact, if you think you can make 4 of a minor, then you probably need close to game points. If that's the case, then you're outbidding an opposition that's already gone to 3 of a suit, which means there's a good chance perhaps you might get richer by doubling them in 3 of a suit. So 4 of a minor in a competitive auction could be, as you say, a competitive bid. But I like to have any auction between partner and you. If one player bids 4 of a minor, then that's saying, partner, this is Roman keycard Blackwood for that minor suit as trumps. So partner bids 4 no trump, which is how many steps? 4 hearts would be 1 step, 4 spades, 2nd step, 4 no trump, 3rd step. So partner has 2 key cards without the Queen of Diamonds. Well, how many key cards do you have? 1, 2, plus the Queen of Diamonds. So we have a total of 4 key cards plus the Queen of Diamonds, which means that you can bid a slam, provided you're missing only 1 key card, but not the Queen of Diamonds. So South settles in 6 diamonds. Now, does this look likely? Well, partner's got 15 to 17 points over there. You've got 12 and a solid 7-card suit. What if they lead out the Ace King of Hearts? They could lead out the Ace King of Hearts, but I'm not sure that we have a system here that could stop them doing that or find out about control bids. You'll notice in a hand coming up, we do discuss control bids, Tony. So if that is the case, then what happens, happens. But there are ways to find out about controls in a particular suit. So on this particular hand, they do lead the King of Hearts. Thankfully, partner's got the ace. How do we play this hand? Well, once the Ace of Diamonds is gone, we've got 6 diamond tricks. We've got the Ace and the King of Clubs, that's 8. The Ace of Hearts, that's 9. And in fact, in spades, we've got 4 winners. How should we play it? Any thoughts? Well, definitely we're going to win the Ace of Hearts with this trick. You can see that if we play a trump now, the opponents will win and simply cash the Queen of Hearts. So we're not going to do that. We're going to discard our hearts on the spades. Anyone think that we should play a spade to the Queen and then a club to the King and then play Ace and King of Spades? Any thoughts about that line of play? So a low spade to the Queen and then a low club across to the King. No, Jane, you're suggesting no. What would you rather do, Jane? Rather than low spade to the Queen, low club to the King? Well, the important thing about avoiding that line of play, everyone, is that King of Clubs is a vital entry. Exactly. Good suggestion. Jane suggested that you immediately play the Ace King of Spades because the Queen of Spades is a little bit of a red herring here. The Jack of Spades is another trick that can take care of the clubs. And we need to keep that King of Clubs as an entry for after we play trumps. So immediately, let's play the Ace of Spades, dropping the Queen, c'est la vie, don't really need it. King of Spades, it's nice that we have it because the Jack is a winner. King of Spades, discarding our 2nd heart. And now we can finally play a trump. East wins, hoping upon hope that they can cash a heart trick. So now you trump in and you don't do anything like trump low. You trump high spectacularly because you can afford it. You draw out the trumps that are remaining. That's all of them gone. And now you can see it's vital that you have the King of Clubs in dummy because that is your entry to the Jack of Spades on which you can throw away the losing 9 of Clubs. So that's why it was important on this hand, everyone, to not fall into the trap of playing a low spade to the Queen and then a low club to the King, because that would have destroyed your entry position. see if I can get those hands up again. Select all 4 player cards. Okay. Rewind. Play. Select cards for all 4 players. There we go. So having a look at all the hand, what would have happened too is that even if you had played when the ace of hearts, play a low spade to the queen and a low club to the king, if you tried now to take 2 more spade winners to discard the losing club and the losing heart, East would have trumped in with the 9 of diamonds. And that would have stopped you making your contract, and you wouldn't have had an entry in dummy for the extra spade trick. It was very important to squash the queen of spades with the ace at trick 2, take the king, discard a heart. Okay, let's move on. A couple more hands to go. Okay, this is your hand. You're a responder in this situation. Partner's opened a spade. You respond 2 hearts. Partner raises to 3 hearts, which promises a minimum hand. So let's look at this hand now that we've got a trump fit. Let's look at it from the perspective of losers. Well, how many losers do you have? 1 in spades, 1 in hearts, 2 in diamonds, 1 in clubs. So that is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losers. Well, if partner has a minimum opening hand, they have 7 losers. 7 plus 5 is 12. Take that away from the magical, mystical 24, which we discuss in the losing trick count lesson. And that means that our partnership has potential for slam. Now, I couldn't have scripted it better, but Tony mentioned before about, am I worried about the opponents leading the ace king of hearts against the previous contract? Yes, I was, but I didn't have a method that could help with it. So, but on this hand, I am actually concerned the opponents might take the ace and the king of diamonds. So once a trump fit is settled at the 3 level, any bid between 3 of the trump suit, especially if it's a major, and 4 of the trump suit, any bid of any side suit in between that promises what we call a control. And a control would be the ace, the king, a singleton, or a void. So we start on the first suit that's not the trump suit, and that would be spades. This 3 spade bid said to partner, I have one of these controls in this suit. I have either an ace or a king or a singleton or a void in spades. Tell me what you have, partner. Go to the next suit where you have one of these controls. Well, partner didn't bid 4 clubs, which means that partner is denying a control in clubs. When they bid 4 diamonds, they say, I have one of these controls in diamonds, but I don't have it in clubs. Well, that's okay. You're happy because you wanted to know about partner's diamond control. You can now choose to use Roman keycard Blackwood, which you do. Partner shows you 4 steps, clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. And that 4th step is 2 with the queen of trumps. Sorry, that's a mistake. That should be 5 hearts, not 5 spades. I'll correct that in the notes. So 2 key cards, no queen of hearts. That should be 5 hearts. And now you raise to 6 hearts because your partnership has 1, 2 key cards and the queen of hearts in your hand. Partner has 2 key cards. That's 4 key cards plus the queen of hearts, which equals a hand good enough to bid to the 6th level of slam. So we get to 6 hearts. West leads the queen of clubs. Let's look at a line of play here. Let's count our tricks first. Unfortunately, partner is mirrored in the minors. 3, 3. 3 clubs, 2 diamonds, which means we can't trump any one of our losing cards in dummy here. So that method of declare a play is not going to work. Now, that means that if we count up our tricks, we've got 6 trump tricks. Ace, king of spades is 8. Ace, king of clubs is 10. And 1 diamond trick, missing the ace. That will take us to 11. Our only chance of an extra trick is through the spade suit. Now, you have a finessable position here in spades. You have the ace and the jack, which means you could take the king of spades and later on finesse the jack of spades. If the queen's on side, there's your extra trick. but that queen will be offside 50% of the time. Is there a better line of play? Any thoughts about this, everyone? Is there a better line than simply taking the ace and the king of spades, the king of spades and a spade to the jack? Colleen suggested trump the spades. Not bad. So Colleen's plan obviously is to set up the fifth spade. Thank you, Jane. Perfect. And to do that, in order to do that, we have to make sure that we've got sufficient entries. So we need to get to dummy 3 times. Yeah, we can get there once with the ace of spades, and we need 2 further entries to dummy. Well, the ace of hearts is an entry. The king of diamonds could be an entry, but the jack of hearts is actually our 3rd entry. So it's very important on this hand to make sure that we don't play the trumps, 3 rounds of trumps immediately, because we need to get back and forth from dummy and declarer via the ace and the jack of hearts in order to trump our spades. So that's our plan. Let's win the first club, and we can take 1 round of trumps. But then we stop. We now get onto the spade suit, and we have to watch the 6 cards and spades that drop in the opponent's hands. We play the king of spades. Again, we're lucky that we have wonderful entries. Sorry, not entries, spots in the heart suit. 2 spades have gone, 4 to go. Now, remember, a 4-2 break or a 3-3 break, that takes up about almost 80% of the hands. Now, 80% is a much better proposition than a 50% finesse. So that's what we're going to go for. If the ace of spades stands up now, we have a guaranteed success. 2 more spades to go, and we need to trump them both and use the entries in dummy. So we trump 1 now. We trump high, we don't trump low. Don't send a boy on a man's errand, as I used to hear at the bridge club when I was growing up. And there's 1 more spade out there and 2 more entries in dummy. So we play a low heart across to the jack, and we trump our 4th spade, dropping the queen. We use our ace of hearts to draw the final trump from west. We play our winning jack of spades to discard that pesky 4 of clubs. And now we simply give up a diamond. And our hand is high. Let's rewind that hand. Let's have a look at the hand, all 4 cards for all 4 players. There we go. So what we relied on with this hand, after obviously the auction finished, we found out about having 4 key cards plus the queen of trumps, good enough for a 6-level slam. It was interesting too that we started to touch on these bids called control bids. And then we had to find what was the best line of play on this hand. Was it to take a 50% finesse in spades, or was it to set up the 5th spade? Well, that will only not work for you if spades are 5-1 or 6-0. Sam's asking a question. How many total key cards is enough to go to slam? Sam, if you want to bid a grand slam, make sure you do so holding all 5 key cards plus the queen of trumps. If you want to bid a small slam, that is the 6th level, you can do so with 5 key cards but no queen of trumps, or 4 key cards plus the queen of trumps. Anything less than that, 4 key cards and no queen of trumps or less, don't consider slams. Stay at the 5 level. Okay, 2 more hands to go. Now, everyone, this is a hand I'm introducing. I thought I would throw in something there with minor wood, and just look at the south hand, minor wood, and also inverted minor for those who want to know a little bit more about inverted minor from yesterday's lesson. South opens a diamond and north bids 2 diamonds. No 4-card major, 10 or more high card points, and 4 or more cards in diamonds. Well, this to me, everyone, looks like a good shot to make slam. We've got 11, 17 points, and a shortage. Partner's got at least 10 over there. The only thing that will stop me from making slam is to be missing too many key cards. Well, that could be a bit of an issue because I've only got one key card. Imagine if your ace ask here was 4-no trump. If you bid 4-no trump and your partner turned out to hold 2 key cards, but no queen of trumps, which you've got, of course, if they had 2 key cards, their responses would be 5 hearts or 5 spades. You can see by using minor wood, we're able to conserve this space and have our partner respond or make a response underneath 5 of the suit. So that's what we do. We use minor wood to conserve space. Partner makes a bid which is 2 steps away. 3 steps away. Heart, spades, no trumps. The third step is 2 key cards, no queen. How many key cards do you have? 1. So Sam, you can tell me. How many key cards is that? 3. You've got the queen of trumps. Now what does that mean? You've got 3 key cards and the queen of trumps, which means your hand's not good enough to be going to slam. And now we thank heavens that we actually do play minor wood, and if we had bid 4-no trump on this hand, partner would have given us a response that's too high, and we would have been forced to go to the 6th level. So now we bail out in 5 diamonds. So let's look at what happens in the play. Well, this hand looks pretty easy. We simply need to draw trumps and give up our 2 aces. So we can quickly play it, win the ace of hearts, draw a couple of trumps. This hand's not about to declare a play, and then simply give up the spade. So we rewind that hand, select the cards for all players. We can show you the hand as a whole. There we go. So that's the hand as a whole, everyone. You're missing 2 key cards. How would 3-no trump have gone? Well, we're missing the whole club suit and the ace of spades. So believe it or not, 3-no trump would have gone down, missing 4 club tricks and the ace of spades. So if you're thinking or you're considering minor wood as another bit of armory to add into your arsenal, then I think it's a wonderful system to play. And if you're worried about how do I remember what the responses are, the way to remember Roman keycard responses is not the bid that partner makes, but the steps. First step, 0 or 3. Second step, 1 or 4. Third step, 2 without. Fourth step, 2 with. Now, you can, whatever partner's key card is, whether it's 4-no trump or 4 of a minor, you simply count the steps from there. 4-no trump was 3 steps. Now, some people like to switch the first and the second to play 14-30, be my guest. That's your decision. Over here, partner made 3 steps. 3 steps was 2 key cards, no queen. Okay, last hand of the day. Okay, let's look at the south hand here. Partner opens the bidding with 1 diamond. You respond 1 heart, higher of 5s. Partner bids 2 hearts, showing a minimum hand, typically around 7 losers. Now, you have no suit outside the heart suit that is missing 2 controls. So if that's the case, then this is a hand that looks like if you were to count the losers, there's a good chance that slam is possible. Well, how many losers do you have? 1 in spades, 2 in hearts. The jack's a good card, but it's still 2 losers. 1 in diamonds, 1 in clubs. So that's a total of 5 losers. Partner's promised you around 7 losers. So the 6th level looks like a potentially good contract. What should you do? You should check on key cards from partner. So we choose to bid 4-no trump, asking partner about their aces, plus the king of hearts, and also the possibility of the queen of hearts. So we bid 4-no trump. Roman key card Blackwood. Partner bids 5 spades. How many steps is that? Well, that's 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. 0 or 3, 1 or 4, 2 without, 2 with. Partner's got 2 key cards plus the Queen of Hearts. Well, that's good news. Partner's got the Ace of Diamonds and the Ace Queen of Hearts. That's fantastic news. I wonder if partner's also got a king that could help me. Well, how helpful would the King of Clubs be? King of Clubs would be a fantastic card. In fact, that would mean that your partnership would be able to make a grand slam if partner held the King of Clubs. Why? Because it's likely that you can trump a long card, that is the long spade, with one of dummy's excess trumps. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to check to see if partner's got a specific king. And 5-no trump, when using Roman key card Blackwood, you can use it 2 ways. You can say to partner, how many kings do you have, partner? Or an even better method is, tell me what your lowest specific king is. And partner, on the hand in question, bids 6 clubs, saying, I have the King of Clubs. Beautiful, that fits the entire club suit. We've got 5 running club tricks, Ace of Diamonds, Ace Queen of Hearts, and eventually we'd be able to perhaps trump a spade in dummy, or maybe do something different in diamonds and come to our 13 tricks that way. So we bid 7 hearts. West leads the spade king. Perfect. So we can draw trumps and we can run our clubs, throw away a spade in dummy, and then we'll probably have an extra club heart left in dummy to trump a spade. So that's our plan. Win the Ace of Spades. Let's draw trumps. Whoops. Okay, trumps are 4-0. Well, we didn't bank on that. So what do we do now? Would the opener not have a king? Jane's asking, would the opener not have a king? I think 5-no trump simply says to partner, the way we play it is, I'm interested in a grand slam, partner, of course. A lot of people are asking about this now. So Shell's asking, should we always play 5-no trump, asking for the lowest king? I think that's a good bid. It can also say to partner, we've got all of the key cards. Tell me, and if you had a solid suit, let's say you had ace, king, queen to 5 or 6 cards in a side suit, and your partner bid 5-no trump, asking about a grand slam, you wouldn't show your king, you'd just bid the grand slam because you have a source of tricks of your own. It's when you have a hand such as the north one we're looking at. On the north hand, the King of Clubs might fit beautifully in with partner's hand. So I like 5-no trump as saying, I'm interested in slam, either a grand slam, either you bid the grand slam, partner, or perhaps show me a king that you think might help me. So 6 hearts is the reply with no king. 6 hearts is the reply with no king below the trump suit, Jane. Yep. Pam's also asking, what if you had the King of Spades? You simply should bid 6 hearts, Pam. Don't bid. Don't try and show the king in a suit above the trump suit. All very good questions. So you can show a specific king below the trump suit, but not above. So the 10 of hearts wins, but hearts are 4-0. That's created a problem for us. If we were to play 3 rounds of clubs and to discard a spade, that would rely on the player here with the 4 trumps holding 3 clubs. Do we have a better line of play than that? Well, what if we were to do what we call reverse the dummy? So that is, what if we were to rough trump 2 diamonds in your hand over here? By trumping 2 diamonds in your hand, that means your total number of trump tricks would rise to 6 that way, because we've got 5 club winners, 2 aces, so that's 7, and we need 6 trump tricks to make our contract. So how about we try that? We actually play the ace of diamonds and then trump some diamonds in our hand over here. I think that will be a better line of play than to try to discard a spade on the 3rd club. Much better idea to play for diamonds to be no worse than 5-2. So let's try that. So on this next card, we're going to play the ace of diamonds, reversing the dummy. Now we're going to play a diamond and trump low. We can't afford to trump high just yet. Great. We can Now we play one club to the king. We need one round of clubs to survive, and we take our second diamond ruff, this time with a high trump because we can afford it. King of hearts. Now we draw trumps. Two more trumps left in the west hand. Draw all of them out and look at the clubs. The king's gone, and now a low club across to your hand takes all of those club winners. So the aim on this hand, even with trumps 4-0, the aim on this hand was to make 6 trump tricks. Once they were 4-0, the only way we could, or the safest way to do that was to trump 2 diamonds in our hand. Everyone, I hope you've enjoyed that revision lesson. Glad you didn't have to. I think you would have found the answer, Jane. Always count your tricks. Jane suggested she's glad she didn't have to play it. Always count your tricks and try and find the avenue that will take you to the number of tricks required for the contract. So we knew we had 7 outside tricks, which meant we needed 6 trump tricks. Thank you, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm going to keep your microphones open at the end. Let me take an opportunity to say, to remember Anzac Day tomorrow, and I wish everyone a safe day, and I will send through some emails on the weekend. We're definitely continuing on with our May webinars, and I hope that you can join us. Thanks, everyone, and I'll send through a copy of those hands today with the video of the lesson. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll keep the microphones open. Thank you.